Namaskar. Respected Shashidharan ji, respected Prashant ji, respected Devadas ji, and esteemed scholars and patriotic thought leaders of Kerala who have assembled here. It's very difficult to collect thoughts and express your views on a day when our hearts are engulfed with sorrow and grief with the news of our respected Hari Atanji's passing away. But he was a very strong person, a beacon of light for us, a Sangha Rishi, and I call him a Mahatma Ranga Hariji. He was a Mahatma in every sense of the term, and he stood firm against the tide of all the evil empires and the evil elements that have made Kerala their battleground against the forces of patriotism, nationalism and Sanatan Dharma. Kerala is a land of a cradle of Sanatan Dharma, Hindu Vedic civilization. And first of all, I begin with salutations to this holy land of Rishi Agastya, a land which is sanctified with the presence of Sri Padmanabha Swami. There are dasas of Sri Padmanabha Swami. I consider myself as a dasanudasa of the dasas of Sri Padmanabha Swami. May his blessings be always with us. My salutes to all the rishis who saved Kerala's culture and created an army of intellectual warriors. They were the Dharma Rakshaks, like Sri Narayan Guru, Mahatma Ayankali, Sangha rishis like Dattopant Thengri ji, Venugopalan ji, Parameswaram ji, K. Bhaskaran ji, and of course Mahatma Rangahari ji. It's a sad day in our life that today mourning a Sangha Rishi who was embodiment of Sangha values and whose persona we saw the image of Puja Dr. Sahib, our dear respected Hari Atanji has achieved Nirvana. He was a Dadhichi and inspired millions of Swayamsevaks to serve Bharat Mata without ever asking for anything in return. He saw RSS as a Dharmavatara, the protector of Dharma in this era, repeating the words of Param Pujya Shri Guruji. Friends, when we are meeting today to discuss the contribution of the RSS to keep India akhanda, to keep the light of Bharat Mata alive against all the evil forces, we are seeing that Kerala has become a battleground of good and the evil. The sacred soil of Kerala reminds us of Shri Vishnu annihilating the wicked and the unrepentant wrongdoers, and it reminds us of the Devi Bhagavati who eliminated Mahishasura. Hence we celebrate Vijayadashmi and Deepavali as symbols of the victory of truth over falsehood. Deepavali is not celebrated because Shri Rama left Janaki in Lanka, saying that he believes in non-violence and cannot go to war over Sita. Hence, returning Ayodhya empty-handed, and Ayodhya people welcomed his gesture with Deepavali. No. Rama was a warrior. Rama was the annihilator of the evil. Rama fought and annihilated the unrepentant wicked. And that's the reason we celebrate Deepavali. Deepavali is very near to us. While we are going to celebrate Deepavali, we must remember all those Swayamsevaks who sacrificed their lives at a very young age to protect Dharma and culture of the Bharatvarsha. They are the soldiers of Shri Rama who fought valiantly against the elements of Ravana. My pranams to each of the Swayamsevak who led his life at the altar of Ma Bhavani Bharati. And the sacrifice reminds us of the courageous efforts of Swayamsevaks of Punjab while they were fighting against the partition of India and saved thousands of Hindu lives from the assaults of barbaric and savage jihadi Islamists who had demanded vivisection of our motherland. While we are going to celebrate Deepavali, we must understand what binds us together, the threads that bind us together that are being sought to be burnt by the foreign funded people who have extraterritorial loyalties. And in any country, people of the countries who support their country are considered as friends, and those who attack and assault the country, the culture and the civilization and the dharma of a people and a society, they are unfriendly people, unworthy of any kind of support. But today we are seeing that a huge rallies are organized in Kerala in support of terrorist organization, and when a Congress leader called a terrorist organization, he is finding himself in a difficult spot. Very sad. Not only that, immediately after that rally, a bomb blast has occurred at the congregation of the Jehovah's Witness, where a large number of Jews live, and that must send the danger bells in the offices and in the minds of those who have been entrusted to protect the lives of our people. It's a very difficult time, sir. And this is a time when all those noble, virtuous organizations, whether they follow any sect or any faith, but they have belief and faith in the oneness of India, in the peace and harmony of the society, in the progress of the Indian people and the Indian nation, they must come together to defeat the evil forces who are supporting those who stand against India in every international fora. Every country and people, every organization who supports India must be our friend. No compromise on that. Everyone, every country who attacks, assaults, criticizes, opposes the Indian stand anywhere must not be worthy of any kind of support and sympathy. That's the final line. Period. There is no compromise. There can never be a compromise on it. And that was the reason that in 1947, when India was vivisected on the false theory of two nations, Param Pujya Shri Guruji embarked upon a noble mission like the Adhunik Adi Shankara, uniting every single part of the country, starting hundreds of such organizations which will create a sense of one nation, one culture, one purpose, reflecting the Vedic prayer of Sangachadvam, Samvo Daddham, Samvo Manansi Janatam, Deva Bhagam Yathapurve, Sanja Nana Upasate. We are one Indians. We walk together. We have one dream, the glory of Bharat Mata. We have one purpose, the glory and progress of the Bharatiya people. We have one aim to create a strong, prosperous, healthy and wealthy Bharat that will stand against all the elements of hatred, intolerance, violence and barbarism. And that was the reason that today the RSS has become the single most force in the country that is going beyond the realms, beyond the boundaries of language, caste, small differences, cultural differences and all boundaries to create a society which is full of patriotism, full of nationalism and can fight all the evil empires and the enemies of the country in one voice. Friends, when we speak of the contribution of Rangahari ji, he gave me a word that Tarunji, when in a society mantra viplav occurs, the society, there are too many confusions created in that society and there is a memory loss about the real character and the roots of that civilizational society. Then the society breaks up. Mantra Viplav occurs in Mahabharata. I had never heard the word Mantra Viplav that Hariyatan told me. Today I see that how the Mantra Viplav is creating an idea which is going to break India if we don't defeat this kind of a ideological confusion. And that's one confusion is about who we are. RSS right from the beginning created an atmosphere that revived the memory of our people, who we are. Jambu Dweepe, Bharat Khande, Desh Deshantare. What is Jambu Dweep? What is Bharat Khande? What is Aryavarta? They say that India was never a nation. India is a conglomeration or just a collection of various small republics. They are the worst enemies of India who say that India is not a nation but just a federation of or a union of various states. No, India was a nation from the time immemorial, is a nation and will always remain a nation till there is a single Hindu living in Bharatvarsh. India is a nation, will remain a nation. It's not a union of various states because our nationhood is rooted in thousands of years of civilizational moves. When the people from all the corners of the earth were coming to India, they were not coming to Kozhikode, they were not coming to Calicut, they were not coming to Kochi, they were not coming to Mumbai or Kolkata, they were coming to India. What is that India? Whether they were good or bad, whether they were enemies or friends, whether they were scholars or just savages, the target was, their destination was India, Hindustan and Bharatvarsh, because Bharatvarsh was always a nation, a civilization nation, Astutarasyam Dishi Bharatatma, jisko the India where there is the Indian Ocean in the south and Himalaya in the north. That India was always in the minds of those for whom we were like a bird of gold, sone ki chidiya. So those people who say that India is not a nation and it's a union of state are like the enemies of the country, like Gori and Ghaznavis, like those British proselytizers who tried to break up India. The RSS contribution, first and foremost, is to revive the memory of the people in their roots. Right from the immemorial times, the Bharatvarsh remains as a uniting force for all the political riyasats and the states of the country. But right from Tawang to the banks of Indus on the Sindhu Tat, from Jaisalmer to the Lakshadweep and the Hanuman Dweep, which is now changed to Andaman. Andaman's root is Hanuman, because Hanuman is said to have stayed there. India remains one. From Borobudur to Bamiyan, the Bharatiya Sanskriti has flowered since time immemorial for the thousands of years. And the first thing that I mention in this regard is the Ekatmata Stotra of the RSS. It's a very small thing. You may say that this is just a small recitation of couple of shlokas. No. Millions of people in India and abroad, millions of Swayamsevaks, every day they are remembering Sri Narayan Guru, Tiruvalluvar, Ramanujacharya, Meera, Chenamma, and in the end of the Ekatmata Stotra, there is a shlok that says that those who recite this Ekatmata Stotra every day will always remember Rashtriya Dharma and have the image of Akhanda Bharata in his heart. What is Rashtriya Dharma? What is Rashtriya Dharma? This word is propagated and popularized by RSS. You may remember that Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji had presented a concept of Miri and Piri, means Shastra and Shastra, means Vidya and Virata. What is Vidya and Virata? What is Miri and Piri? In the same line, RSS gave the word Rashtra Dharma. Without Rashtra, the Dharma is incomplete, and without Dharma, the Rashtra is incomplete. Those who follow the Dharma, the Sanatan Dharma, have to keep the idea of Bharatvarsh before their eyes and have a commitment that whatever I do in my life, whatever I earn in my life is incomplete if I do not serve my nation. That is my dharma. That is called Rashtra Dharma. Exactly in the line of Shri Aurobindo's concept of Bhavani Bharati. This land of ours is not just a few mountains and rivers and buildings and a collection and a crowd of a few people. No, this land of ours is Sakshat Jagat Janani Bhavani Bharati for me, and I am her child. I am the son and a daughter of Bhavani Bharati. We are all children of Bhavani Bharati. And the basic dharma of our existence is that whatever I do, I keep my mother in my eyes, in my heart, and serving the mother, serving the lotus feet of my mother must be the basic purpose of my living. Otherwise, this land is nothing but a platform. But a platform for me. If I do not connect with my mother Bhavani Bharati and feel that this Bharatvarsha is an expression of the divinity of Bhagavati Bhavani Bharati, then only I will have an affinity, a brotherhood with every single citizen of Bharatvarsha. Every single citizen of Bharatvarsha will become my sister and brother, my connecting me with every single Bharatvasi as a child of Bhagavati Bhavani Bharati. That concept was propagated accepted, adopted, internalized by the RSS people, RSS Swayamsevaks, RSS leaders, and that intellectual output has transformed the lives of millions and millions in such a way that wherever they are, whether they are in Silicon Valley, whether they are in Germany, whether they are in Saudi Arabia or in China, they work for motherland. That can be their karma bhumi, but Bharat remains their punya bhumi. Those who are in India, they feel that whatever I am doing, I must offer a part of my life, of my earning, of my time, of my vidya, of my vivek, to make Bharatvarsh happier place, a stronger place, prosperous place, and a place where we can realize the dreams of our ancestors. That is a feeling, that is a fire that has created a million dreams and made our people to realize those dreams. That is the fire that gave India two Swayamsevaks who became prime ministers, two Swayamsevaks who became the most popular leaders of India all over the world, who were even given the highest awards in Saudi Arabia, in other Muslim countries, and one Swayamsevak who was a pracharak of the RSS has become instrumental to realize the dreams of the last 400 years to have Shri Rama Janmabhoomi temple created and being inaugurated in Ayodhya. That is the RSS contribution. Uniting India, creating a society that believes in the solidarity of the nationalist, patriotic and civilizational people. That is the basic contribution. I must give you an example. Sir Vidya Naipal, who got the Nobel Prize for Literature, he wrote an essay in the New York Times Sunday Review, Literary Review, that section. And in a very longish essay, he said that on this earth, the Hindus are the only people who are suffering with memory loss. And he gave an example of a famous English writer, Indian English writer, R.K. Narayan. He said that he created an imaginary character and a story around Malgudi days. And there was a TV serial also on it. In that novel, he establishes that Malgudi is a beautiful village which is 50 kilometers from a great city like Hampi. But in the entire narrative, he completely ignores to mention the glorious history of Hampi and the reason why was Hampi burnt. Who burnt Hampi? For what reason? Because those who are under the spell of foreign language and foreign culture, they never wanted to revive the memory of the people. They never wanted us to know why was Hampi burnt, who burnt it, what was the reason behind destroying one of the greatest cities on this earth, that was Hampi. Who was Harihar Bukka? What was the reason that Harihar Bukka became such a strong people that they founded Vijayanagar Empire? Nobody tells us. Every single invader wants their colonized people to forget about their ancestors, to forget about their glorious past, and to remember that whatever good is happening because they have enslaved these people. That's the reason today in media, in several other sections of the society, we see people who are supporting those foreign elements who are working against our own country. and they are opposing those elements who are giving their lives for the enhancement of the glory of the country. RSS created a big army of those monks who would not be clad or attired in saffron cloths like our sannyasis, but they became the warrior sannyasis of the Ananda Math novel of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. And those warrior sannyasis who live like a Vitaragi, Sadhaka, Tapasvi, Rishi in everyday life, became mingling with the common people, they were called the Pracharaks. In the last 1000 years of the history of India, there has never been a movement that would create, inspire and motivate the committed youngsters to leave their IIT Powai, IIT Madras, IIT Jamshedpur, or their university professorship, or their medical profession, or even if they are simple degree holders, they would tell their mother that, Ma, please permit me to serve Bharat Mata as the Pracharak of the RSS. They are the great uniting threads of the country. They work on the Burma border in More. They work in Tawang, running a small school, teaching the Arunachali children about the greatness of Ganga and Yamuna and Brahmaputra and Krishna and Kaveri. They tell the people about the greatness of the Kashmir's cultural contribution in uniting country and the Ma Sharada's temple, and where from the Sri Vidya came. They tell about the pains and sufferings of the people. They create a society that knows each other. That knows each other. The Kerala person will go to Mizoram and Manipur and Nagaland and Arunachal to work for Mizo children, Manipur children, Nagaland children, and he knows that never in his life his name will appear in any media. Nobody will give him any award, no Padma award. Nobody even mention his name before the VIPs. They are the silent revolutionaries who are changing the destiny of India. Nobody gives a thought to it, that how our entire machinery is working. And they are working not just for the schools, they are running hospitals, best blood banks, super specialty cancer hospitals. They are running hostels for the tribal children. They are working in the students' arena, defeating the nefarious, foreign-funded, extraterritorially loyal, ideological people in their own den in Akhila Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. They are working in Kisan Sangh. They are working in Adhyapak Sangh. They are working in Vijnana Bharati with the best of the Indian scientists like Professor Mashelkar and Vijay Bhatkar working in Vijnana Bharati. They are working in universities. They are working in the cultural arena through Sanskrita Bharati. They are working among the especially abled people and the children of the country through Saksham. Thousands of such projects are being run in various parts of the country through Saksham, helping those who are suffering with cerebral palsy or dyslexia, autism, or any kind of a disability which is not helped otherwise through many of our organizations. They are working in 1,000 organizations to create a united India that is sensitive to each other's pains, sufferings, dreams and aspirations. That's the basic thing that RSS has contributed. The Seva Bharati of RSS is working from Andaman to Ladakh, among Bhotiyas, among Bhots, among Buddhists, in all the slum areas of the country. It has become the largest seva organization in the world, which created a new chapter during the COVID period when people were dying for the want of several equipments, oxygen cylinders and care. The best thing that RSS created, that every Indian is my brother and sister. I have a fraternal feeling for each other. Jiver Seva, Shiver Seva, that was Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa's message to Swami Vivekananda. RSS has lived that message. Serving humanity is serving Shiva. Serving people is serving Shiva. You will never see the RSS leader doing any kind of a ritual thing, or in a temple, or in a river. They are always seen either in the hospital, serving the people, or working for the society, working for the dharma. Create an awareness that if dharma is not protected, then nation is not protected. It is dharma that protects the nation, because dharma is the soul of the nation, and dharma is not that kind of a Semitic religion. Dharma is the belief in our own ancestral contribution to the universe that has expressed through the Vedic rishis who are doing penance, who is doing tapasya on the banks of river Indus, river Sindhu, which gave the world thousands of years of before the United Nations was established, the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. No other society, no other community, no other people have given this kind of a feeling and this kind of a message that Vedic rishis gave. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This earth is my family. No other people, no other community, no other faith, no other kind of any ideology has given a word that Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarva deva namaskaram keshavam prati gacchati. That Paramacharya used to tell us. Whichever God you follow, whichever faith you follow, whichever cultural stream you follow, I believe as a Vedic person, as a Sanatan Dharmi, as a Hindu, I believe that all reach the same ocean of God. Nobody say. Everyone would say, unless you follow my religion, unless you follow my faith, unless you follow my cultural stream, you will go and burn eternally in the fires of hell. Only Hindu will say, you can follow your religion, but be faithful to the country. Be loyal to the people. Be loyal to your cultural modes. Be loyal to your land. If you betray it, then you do not belong to this land. There is a big difference. If you live in a rented house, will you die and fight for it? A feeling for a rented house is different, but a feeling for a house which is owned by you is different. RSS created that kind of a feeling of mother and child, that this land belongs to me. This land belongs to me. The entire cultural arena is mine. I am the inheritor of the cultural stream and the messages of Shri Rama, Shri Krishna, Mahavir and Buddha and Guru Govind Singh, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, Tiruvalluvar and Narayan Guru, that connected us with every single person who believes in Bharatvarsha. That is an amazing contribution. It was never before that kind of a feeling, except the Adi Shankara. RSS is a living embodiment of Adi Shankara today. RSS is a personified Adi Shankara, creating unity through dharma, creating unity through the threads of culture, and making people feel that this is my country, this is my land, I am not here on a rental, I own this, I am the owner, and that makes all the difference. Those who have a feeling that perhaps they have come here only for a few rupees and some business, they are on a rental basis here. They have no idea who Rama, Krishna, Mahavir, Buddha, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Govind Singh, Tiruvalluvar, Narayan Guru and Mahatma Ayankali were. You will never find in their conferences, in their meetings, their pictures or their remembrance. I had been to China several times. I have been given the Chair of Excellence by Ministry of External Affairs to work on the Indian influence on the Chinese mind in the since the ancient times. And I am working on Kumarajiva, who changed the spiritual leanings of Chinese people. And still there are 10 temples in China which are devoted to Kumarajiva. Chomolishu they say it. And everywhere you see Indian mark, Indian identity. Everywhere in those temples. When I went to the central office of the Chinese Communist Party, they gave me a book on the Chinese history, and they gave us the entire that ancestry of Tang dynasty, how the Han people and the emperors they had ruled in China. They connected with their emperors. I said that you don't believe in royalty, you believe in some kind of a autocracy or dictatorship of the Communist Party. So why you are giving the names and the pictures and the history of the royal people who had ruled China earlier? So he smiled at. He said that, sir, if we believe in communism, it doesn't mean that we don't believe in China's glorious past. That past belongs to us. So I said that then you are not communist. You can be different people. But look at the Indian communists. They hate everyone who built India. They hate everyone who glorified Bharat Mata. They hate everyone who contributed for the cultural, civilizational and the dharmic roots of the country. They are worse than what the Chinese were to the Chinese people. At least they believe in their ancestry. They hate their ancestry. And they support every single person who attacks, assaults, criticizes and bruises the Indian mind. RSS is the only bulwark against the savagery, barbarism and the anti-India mindset of the communist ideological people. One of the greatest, strongest force against those who are trying to de-Indianize India is the RSS people. Everywhere they may lay their life, sacrifice their life. But we believe in the eternal life and we believe that Atma never perishes. Communism has become another Semitic invasion on India, like those savages who had come from Turk and other parts of the world. We will defeat them here before our eyes with our own ideological might. Therefore, the basic contribution of the RSS is to defeat the forces of mantra viplav that Hariyatan used to tell us. We want that every single person must understand that Bharatvarsh belongs to those who believe in the continuity of the cultural streams of Bharatvarsh. Whichever faith you follow, we don't mind. Go and look how the Indonesian Muslims are behaving. In the entire East Asia, you will find Ganapati, Saraswati, Vishnu and Shiva in all East Asian countries, no matter which faith they follow. One of the world's biggest airport, international airport, is Swarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok. When you enter, you find a 300 feet long statue of Sagara Manthana. And there is a story, there is a signage there which explains what this statue means. The story of the churning of the ocean. This is how they explain that in Thai and in English. When you go to Indonesia, you find Garuda, you find Ganapati on their currency notes. World's greatest statue of Garuda is not in India, it is in Indonesia. The statues of Ghatotkacha, of Arjuna, of Karna, they are in one of the largest populated Muslim country in the East Asia, not in India. Because secularism has also become a sword of the anti-Hindu, anti-India forces. They try to humiliate, they try to look with contempt at everything Hindu. When I went to Japan, they had a temple devoted to 11 Hindu monks who had visited Japan to spread Indian culture. In China, there is a Lishan Buddha near Chengdu. It has a 1200 feet high statue of Buddha. When you enter the arena, I was shocked to see an Indian looking monk's small statue, but there were holes in his two eyes. I said, why? So my Chinese interpreter, he gave me a story. He said that about 900 years before, an Indian monk came from North India, perhaps from Kashi area, crossing all the snow deserts, mountains. He had never been there. Then he learned the Chinese Mandarin language there. And he mastered the language in such a way that he spread the message of Buddha with such a great influence that the king became Buddhist, the people became Buddhist. Then the monk requested the king, "O king, please allow me to have a grand statue of Gautama, our Lokiteshwara, in your kingdom." The king was very happy. He gave all the funds, engineers, architects, masons, they started work, and said that some of the local municipal people were a bit corrupt. They thought that this monk is very wealthy. Let us slow down the work. Unless he gives us some jewels, we will not finish the work. And they communicated this to the disciples of the monk, and the monk said, "I am very sorry. What can I give them? I don't have anything. But okay, ask them to come on the next full moon day and tell them, I will give you the world's most precious jewels, but please don't slow down the work." So, to cut the story short, the municipal people came, they were very happy, thrilled and excited. And the disciples of the monk had readied 2 silver trays covered with silken scarves. And they said that this is what the monk has given to you. They hurriedly opened it and found that monk has given his 2 eyes to the municipal people. It's a true story. This is the character of my ancestor. This is the inheritance of us all. He belonged to us, and I have his blood in my veins. That is Sanatan Dharma. That is civilization of India. That is the power of the compassion, commitment, devotion, dedication, vidya, pragya and virata of an Indian sannyasi that belongs to us all, and that is represented through the thousands of works of the RSS, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. They represent that monk. Today we have a global presence. Wherever there is anything that connects us with Sanatana Dharma, with Hindu Dharma, RSS person is there. You know how Swaminarayan has created the world's one of the largest temples in America. Pujya Mahanta Swami went there. Every single Hindu organization who is working in India for Bharat Varsha, for Vedic civilization, whichever sect, whichever way of worshipping, whichever language they speak, RSS feels we all belong to one Bharatiya Parivar, and all must work in a spirit of togetherness. That is the RSS contribution. A dream of togetherness. A dream that worships Bharat as the greatest God. And we feel very, very genuinely, whether it's the Shiva or Durga or Shri Padmanabha Swami, they are reflections of the glory of this Vedic nation, of this Sanatan Dharmiya nation. We have seen many assaults. Delhi was massacred by Nadir Shah 18 times. There were many massacres in South. They had completely destroyed many civilizations and cultures in the world. Mesopotamia is gone, Babylonia is gone, American Indians are gone, Spanish pre-Christian culture is gone, Britain's pre-Christian culture is gone, Germans pre-Christian adherents are gone. RSS has reconnected with all those communities and faiths world over, who are pre-Christian and pre-Islamic. And every year we hold their international global conference in India so that people must understand there were wiser people, there were people with great wisdom before these Semitic religions came. That is the contribution, that the world must become a happier state where everyone who believes in anything can have his say, can have his prayers without any fear. The only country in this world which gave shelter to the Jewish people 2000 years before was our Sanatan Dharmi Hindu society, Hindu India. They were rejected by 86 countries world over. Not a single country accepted them. It is only our Bharat Varsha in Calicut, in Kochi, in Mumbai, whether they are Baghdadi Jews, they are Bene Israel Jews, they got not shelter but a home in India, and not a single Hindu ever asked them, look, if I had not given you shelter, you would have died. Convert to Hinduism. Did we say that? Did we say that you come to our temple? Never. Because we believe Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigacchati. This is very unique in the world. That uniqueness of unity in diversity. that ekata in vividhata is protected, nourished and conserved by the RSS Swayamsevak. Nowhere in the world. Friends, when we look at our past, we have seen that there were several freedoms and independences that India achieved. Shivaji's regime, Chola's regime, Vijayanagar Empire, Maharaja Ranjit Singh's regime, they were all regimes of independent India. Dr. Hedgewar said, create a society that will never allow any other invader to enslave us again. And that can happen only when we create a unity, a solidarity of the people who believe in Bharatvarsha. That was Hedgewar's idea. He was a freedom fighter. He participated in many satyagrahas. He created an army of Swayamsevaks against the British regime. He was sentenced to several years of jail by the British. But he said that the purpose should be to create a solidarity of the Indian people who believe in India, so that never again India will be partitioned, and never again we will allow people who will say, we are two nations. How can you be two nations? We have same ancestors, same blood, same language, same attire, same history. We belong to this land. We speak same language. How can we be two nations? Just changing the religion cannot make an enemy of our people. But Vivekananda said that when a Hindu converts to other religion, it's not just a Hindu less, it's an enemy more. That's what we are seeing here. Why Hamas is sympathized by some people and some see it as a terrorist organization. Look at it and think about it. RSS is creating a society, a feeling that will never again allow a single savage or barbaric person to vivisect our motherland. Never. RSS is a personified Shivaji in the modern time. Personified Shivaji, which creates fear among the enemies of the country. Friends, it has been a wonderful time to share my views with you. But please always remember that a people who are totally devoted to the wellness of their brothers and sisters, who feel the pain of a poor person, Indian, who feel the pain of a person who is forced to live on a footpath or to find food in the garbage dump, that feeling must be in your heart. Then and then only you can call yourself an Indian. RSS has worked in all the tribal pockets of the country, in all the scheduled caste pockets of the country, creating Samarasta Manch. Samarasta Manch is a manch I was, as a RSS Swayamsevak, took Dalits in Uttarakhand for temple entry, and now I can say with humility that not a single temple in Uttarakhand can close its doors for any Hindu, whether it's a scheduled caste or the scheduled tribe or any caste. That's the contribution of a RSS Swayamsevak. Hariyatan was the first to call me and to congratulate me on that movement. Therefore, be a true Indian, feel the pains and sorrows and the joys and the dreams and the aspirations of fellow Indians. Let us create an India which is so powerful that it gives protection to all the people on this earth who fall victim to hatred, violence, intolerance and exclusivity. We believe in inclusivity, and that inclusivity is expressed in our Aradhana of Bharat Mata through the messages of Sri Narayan Guru, Mahatma Ayankali